Like, if your grandfather gives you like a bunch of money and can't they all tax that?
They can, yeah. All right. The next one, this is the fourth video. It's going to be Social Security. This is the big one. Like, this is the one everybody's aware of for the most part, and it's obviously still around. So there was an idea that you would want to have a retirement program in place for people to get out of the workforce. Because back in those days, there wasn't any kind of guaranteed retirement program. You'd have to work and work and work and work and work until basically you couldn't anymore, you died. So the idea was if you make people retire at a certain age, in this case 65, make people retire at 65, whenever you work, you pay into Social Security. Like your tax from your paycheck, pay into Social Security. So when you retire, every month you get a little pension, a little stipend. You go out and like not unemployment, but like
Oh, it's like that.
right, but you're guaranteed to it because you had to meet qualifications then and now. You have to work so many years of your life to get it. But once you meet the maximum amount, you can get Social Security. And it's not a whole lot of money. I mean, more then than now, but it's something. The whole reason to do this is because you get the old people out of the jobs. They don't have to work until they die. But by doing that, it also does what?
Opens up jobs.
New people can get jobs, right? Opens up the jobs for younger people. So the way this works, though, is that we all pay the tax, and it all goes into one giant pot, then and now. So like whenever you have a job now, before you even see your paycheck, what happens? Social Security comes out, right? So you don't have an option to not have it come out. It has to come out, okay? So it comes out. So you are currently paying for everybody who's using it right now. So whenever you retire, the youngins then will pay for you, right? Now, that's the overall purpose of Social Security. But it has other functions too. It's also made for unemployed insurance. So if you're unemployed, you can withdraw it. Not forever, but you can get unemployment insurance for some time. So you can get unemployment insurance. If you have somebody in the family with disabilities, like if you are like a person that has somebody with disabilities in your family, and so you have a burden on your family, you can get Social Security that way. If you're like a single parent with a dependent or dependents, if you're a single parent with dependents, you get Social Security. Right. So it's made for all these groups. It's made for retirees. It's made for people who are unemployed, people who are disabled, people who have dependents. All these groups are then and now provided for by Social Security. But this is one of our first big giant welfare programs that the federal government puts on that we still pay into today. Up until very recently, the Social Security program was the #1 contributor to our national debt, basically. Now it's Medicare and Medicaid. So both those programs, both of those entitlement programs, the safety net programs, Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid are our two biggest drains on our national budget as of at least the past several decades. So like they've been big contributors because now all the baby boomers are dying. Or not dying, but retiring. All the baby boomers are retiring, and there was a buttload of baby boomers in the 40s and 50s, and so they need their money, and they're depleting all the money that's in the bank, right? Because there's so many of them. So anyway. All right. But obviously Social Security still lingers on till today. All right, the election of 36, the election of 1936, it's a no-brainer. There were people who ran against FDR were more conservative. So like the other side, the Republican side, is going to run a more conservative campaign against FDR. They're going to pick a guy named Alf Landon. Alf Landon was the governor of Kansas. But even some conservative Democrats jump ship and go to Alf Landon because they don't like the great amount of spending that the government's doing under FDR. So even some Democrats jump ship who are conservative Democrats to Republicans because they don't like the super spending that FDR has done. But too many people like the program, and it didn't really matter.
Oh, that's even more states than...
Yeah, so FDR has almost all electoral votes. He misses out on 2 states. He gets 98.5% electoral votes.
And nobody thought that this was by cheating?
By what?
Nobody thought that this was by cheating?
It's not cheating. He was very popular. So while there were people who didn't like the ideas, he was still very, very popular across the board because he got so many people to go get back to work, and he helped the economy get better. So he had 61% of the popular vote, which is huge for this time period. So yeah, 61% of the popular vote, which is huge for this time period. So the results were FDR won but all 2 states. FDR has created what he calls a New Deal coalition. So FDR creates what is referred to as the New Deal coalition. In this New Deal coalition, he's basically creating a new voter base. That's what the coalition is referring to. He's creating a new voter base in this group. He's able to take white conservative Southerners with urban workers and farmers, immigrants, union workers, and African Americans and make a giant voter base for the Democrats. So he's able to take white conservatives, farmers, urban workers, African Americans, immigrants, and put them all together, labor unions too, labor unions, and they all come together into one group, which is one of the main reasons why FDR never pushes civil rights, because he understands that the reason he's able to get so much stuff accomplished is because who's been voting for his policies? Southern whites in Congress. So if he pushes civil rights, he loses that chunk, and then that's it for those programs, right? Which is why he never pushes civil rights, even though Eleanor wanted him to do so, right? So that's the New Deal coalition. This will lead to Democratic dominance for the next 30 years. So because of the New Deal coalition that FDR helps make, this is going to lead to Democratic dominance for the next 30 years. But it also begins the slow process of whites in the South beginning to transition towards what party? Because the South has always been conservative. Since Thomas Jefferson, the South has been conservative forever. So if the Democrats are shifting more liberal and bigger government, that means the Southern whites are going to start looking for another place to go, right? So we'll stop there. We'll pick up on Monday from there. Y'all have a good weekend.